I went from a 135-pound bench press as a freshman into now a just recently graduated senior hitting 285 pounds, and I am on track to hitting 3 plates before the end of this year. Matter of fact, I think before 3 months, I think I can get there. With this program, I think I can. As you can see, this is an upper focused workout. This is not push-pull legs. I stick to an upper-lower split. That is exactly what I do. I don't do anything above that. I stick to upper-lower. And today I'm going to be talking about my upper routine that got me from super weak and super frail into a little bit jacked, but very, very strong and a lot stronger, and is going to get me even more stronger in the days to come. As you can see, I have bench press as number 1. This is the very first exercise that I do. I walk in the gym, I grab my band, I grab the 5-pound plate, and I warm up my shoulders. I always start off with a warm up. All of you should start with the warm up. Whatever gets your shoulders and your triceps and a little bit of your back warmed up is what you should be doing. I grab a band and I just do a bunch of these. Warm up some of my rear delts by doing this. Doesn't really matter exactly what you do. Just warm up your upper body just a little bit, and that's all you got to do. Obviously, start off with the bar. Always start off the bar. On my bench press days, it varies. I have one super heavy day, and then I have more of a lighter, more volume focused day. As you can see, I wrote down for my heavy day on bench press, I go for a top set, whether it's a top set of a single or a top double, or very rarely a top triple. I usually stick with a top single though. And then right after that, I drop down and I do one set of 80 to 85% of my 1 rep max, and I do that until failure. I get a spotter, throw on some wrist wraps, and I aim for, whatever I did last week, I try to get 1 more rep, or at least half a rep more than I did last week. And that's gonna be the bench press workout for the heavy day. The more lighter, medium heavy day, I'm typically going for anywhere from, if I'm doing some speed work, I'll do 6 to 8 sets of 2 reps pause bench press. So I'll pause for like a second at the top, and then I'll push up. And that's obviously really short rest times, 90 second rest times. Or I'll simply keep it simple. I'll just do 4 sets of 5, maybe close grip, or I'll do a Larson press for maybe 3 sets of 6 to 7. That's typically what I do for volume day. It just depends on how I feel, but volume day is obviously for more volume / speed work. So that's it for bench press. As you can see, we're gonna move over here. I always move over to a back exercise. The reason I don't do bench press and then straight into dips, or bench and then straight into triceps, is because my triceps and my chest are already kind of fatigued from the bench press. So it's better for me personally to move over to the row so I can give myself a little bit more time to rest and recover my push muscles. And then that's why I have dips at number 3. But first, let's start for the rows. I cannot stress this enough. If you want a big bench, matter of fact, if you want a big squat, bench, and deadlift, you need to be doing extremely heavy rows for your upper back. Your upper back translates. If you have a strong and big upper back, it translates to every single lift in the gym. Me personally, it doesn't matter what kind of row variation you do. Personally, I like the chest supported row. It's really easy. It's like the lazy man's row. Literally sit down, rest your chest, and you just, or whatever grip you want to do. I like the chest supported row, and I do that for 2 sets of 5 to 10 reps. You'll notice most of these accessories right here, it's 2 sets of 5 to 10 reps. 5 to 10 reps is where I'm going to fail. So if I'm able to do 11 reps or 12 reps, it's not necessarily bad. It's not like I'm costing myself gains, but the sweet spot for me is pick a weight heavy enough for me to fail within the 5 to 10 rep range. Then I'm gonna move over to weighted dips. Now, I don't do weighted dips every single upper body day, but typically I do, okay? What I really like doing is I throw on a plate, so just a 45-pound plate, and I try to hit 25 reps in the least amount of sets. So for example, I think the most I can do with a plate in a row is, I think, 12 or 13 reps. I'd hit that, I'd go to failure, technically failure, 12 to 13 reps. And then I'd have to try and get 11 to 12 more reps in the least amount of sets. So what I'm trying to do when I try to hit 25 reps on a weighted dip is I'm trying to just get as many reps as I can in the least amount of set. Then right after that, we're gonna move over to triceps. If you want a big bench press, you have to hammer your triceps. It's just that simple. You're gonna move over to triceps. It depends what you like to do. Personally, I like to do dumbbell rollovers, dumbbell skull crushers. I like to do any kind of overhead tricep training. And then I'll also substitute in some just basic tricep push down with like a straight bar or a V bar. I'm not a big fan of the rope, but the rope works, guys. Like, just because it's something I prefer to not use doesn't mean that it's wrong or it's gonna cost you any gains. It's whatever you enjoy using more, that's what you're gonna do. So triceps, as you can see, push down or roll over, whatever kind, and then 2 sets to failure. Triceps took me a while to really lock in. It took me a while to realize if I want to make the most tricep gains, I'd have to keep my elbow in place and only move my tricep, only move my arms. Not doing this, not doing this. That's not going to give you any kind of tricep push down gains. The goal is to keep the elbow in place and then go like that, or whatever you're doing. Same thing if you're in the air. Keep your elbow as stationary and stable as you can if you want the most gains. Very simple. There's not much more else to talk about. That's your triceps. Then you're going to move over to your second back exercise. Now, we already did a row, and I emphasize how important the row is. The lat pull down is also very, very important. Lat pull down, I prefer to do a neutral grip. So like this grip right here, the neutral grip. And again, 2 sets, 5 to 10 reps. I fail within the 5 to 10 reps. If I'm not failing, I went too light, and I consider that a fail and a job not well done. So lat pull down, any kind of variation you like, whether it's close grip. I also like doing close grip a lot, but I typically just stick with neutral grip, because neutral grip is literally, it's just right in the middle of the wide grip and the close grip. It's like this sweet spot, this sweet middle of both grips that you could use. So that's why I do the neutral grip. It's all up to you, whatever you enjoy, whatever you prefer. Close grip is also great, same with wide grip. I like sticking with neutral grip, and I suggest you should too. Biceps, I keep very simple. I do no more than 2 exercises. I always start off with a hammer curl. Hammer curl is a great accessory lift for the bench press. I grab I think my max for 5 to 10 reps is maybe, I think it's like 55 pounds. I'll grab a 50-pound dumbbell, and I will just 5 to 10 reps, 2 sets, that's it. And that's around the rep range where I would fail. Obviously, I'm trying to get stronger, so with all these lifts that you choose, whatever weight you're able to do for 5 to 10 reps, the next week or the weeks after, you want to aim to get strong. Add on a couple pounds or add on a few more reps. If you're able to add on more reps to a 50-pound hammer curl, or even more weight than you were able to do last week or a couple weeks before, you're getting stronger, and that's a very good sign that your training is working. And then, I didn't write it down, but after I do hammer curls, I'll move over to some sort of straight bicep curl, whether it's literally just alternating dumbbell curls. I don't like to do that after hammer curls, so typically I grab like an easy bar, or I'll go over to cables and I'll just grab a straight attachment, and I'll attach that, and I'll just, again, keep my elbows in place, and I'll just do biceps. And I'll do 5 to 10 reps. That's it, 1 to 2 sets. That's all you gotta do. That is the main workout. That's literally gonna hit every single thing. Then I wrote down number 7, the final workout. This is the most underrated exercise, accessory for the bench press, that I don't hear a lot of people talking. It's almost like it's forgotten. Push-ups. If you want a big bench press, if you want big shoulders, big triceps, a big chest, I know my chest isn't big, but it's gotten a lot bigger. Push-ups is literally going to be your best friend. Specifically weighted push-ups. I'd suggest getting a friend, or just getting a random person in the gym and just asking, hey, could you help me out with this set? Grab a 20, it just depends depending on your strength level. For me, I could do, I think, a plate for, I'm not sure the amount of reps, but I typically grab a 25-pound weight, and I ask someone to just put it on my back so I can do push-ups, and I do 2 sets to failure. Again, 2 sets to absolute muscular failure. I don't count my reps. I don't keep track of that. It's probably smarter for me to, but I don't. I keep it very simple, and I simply get on the ground and I bust out as many push-ups as I can do for 2 sets with some sort of weight on my back. So obviously the more weight you're able to do, and the more reps you're able to do, obviously the more you're gonna progress, the more you're gonna get stronger. But I suggest just start off with doing regular push-ups at the end of your workout, like the very last exercise. 2 sets to failure. And then if you're feeling comfortable, if you're feeling strong, grab someone to put on a weight, or you can even do it yourself. It's kind of hard. You gotta like roll the weight on your back, whatever you feel comfortable with. Put on some weight, or even a backpack. If you're smart enough, unlike me, to just get like a weighted backpack, that also works too. Get strong with push-ups. This is going to get you a very strong bench press, period. Now, of course, this isn't exactly what I do every single workout. For example, my second upper body day, I typically substitute weighted dips and I'll do the behind the neck shoulder press. I love the behind the neck shoulder press. It is so underrated. I think it's called the cloak off press or something like that. So underrated for the side delts and just the overall stability and the health and just the strength of your shoulders. It carries over truly to your bench press and to, literally every other pushing exercise. The behind the neck press is, I think I'm gonna make a video about it. It's that good. So that's what I'll substitute for this. Or if I don't want to do that, I'll just do some lateral raises. I'll just grab 35 pound dumbbells. I'll just do 2 sets to failure. That's it. This is my main workout. This is what I stick to. This is kind of the guideline that I go by. And depending on how I feel, depending on how recovered I am, how strong I am, or just my goals in general, I'll substitute exercises for other ones. This is exactly what worked best for me. This is my sweet little program that I wrote for myself, and it's what's gonna get me to a 3-plate bench press by the end of this year. And I can guarantee, even if you don't follow this exact workout step by step, if you take the main key points, you are going to get so strong, it's going to blow your mind, and you will come and thank me later. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, check the comment section below, and I'll see if I can work with you guys. God bless everybody. Enjoy your day.